Welcome back to A Better Choice Homestead. My name is Kelly, and on my channel I focus on food. Sundays is usually a gardening video or a different type of food preservation method. Tuesday is a cook with me video focusing on healthy meals that are easy and simple to make. And Friday is all about freeze drying. This is the end of Memorial Day weekend, and I spent a lot of time gardening, and I noticed I had quite a bit of herbs that I could pick to get into the freeze dryer. The star of today are my chive blossoms. I really wanted to make sure that I got them this year. I am usually so busy out there planting things this time of year that I never get to these. So I made sure to make that a priority. And since I only had enough for one tray, I picked some other things as well. So I have a bunch of raspberry leaves here that I'm going to freeze dry to make some tea leaves out of. I have some lemon balm. I don't need a lot of lemon balm because I have a lot freeze dried already, but I have the tray available, so I'll go ahead and do some. And oregano is something that I tend to run out of every year. I never seem to have enough preserved to get me through the winter. So I wanted to start early with oregano this year. So we've got 4 trays. I own the original Harvest Right freeze dryer, and I've got it already cooling down, so it should be ready to put the trays in now. So let's go to the freeze dryer. Freeze dryer is ready to go. I'm going to start with these beautiful chive blossoms. Herbs are so easy to freeze dry. You don't have to do anything in prep for them. The one thing I do is make sure that I inspect each leaf, because things coming out of the garden tend to come with passengers. And that is why I tend to de-stem and hand pick all the leaves that I put in here. Plus, I don't want to have to deal with the stem or get that in the finished product. And then we have the lemon balm. This shouldn't take long. I'm going to guess close to 24 hours. So all I have to do now is to close the drain valve and then push continue on the machine. It's now going through its freezing cycle. Then it's going to go through its sublimate phase, where it pulls all the moisture out and traps it against the inside drum. There's not going to be much. There's not a lot of moisture in herbs. And then it's going to go through a drying cycle. And I have my freeze dryer set for an extra 9 hours. That's how many extra hours I do every single cycle, whether I add more at the end or not. But these are not going to take that long. I'm going to leave it as is with the extra 9 hours, just in case I'm sleeping or in a meeting when these finish. But I will bring you back as soon as they're done. 24 hours later, the herbs are done. Now, they did finish 4 hours ago. I had to press more dry time twice, and that's a 2-hour extra cycle because I was working and in meetings, so these had to wait. I'm sure these are totally dry. I stuck a new piece of foil across the top here. As you can see, I'm missing half of it that came with it. So I put a new piece of foil on there. It didn't stay. That's not a problem, but that's what this is. So I'm just going to open the drain valve to release the vacuum pressure inside. And now I can open this. A little condensation here on the outside of the rim here. I think that's fine. So this is the lemon balm. Totally dry. We've got the oregano, and it looks like everything stayed on the trays and didn't blow around in here, so I'm pleased with that as well. The raspberry leaves, also totally dry. And the chive blossoms, also completely dry. I don't want to smush them. I want to try to keep them as intact as possible. So let's get these into the kitchen and let's get them packaged up and talk about ways we're going to use these. There's no ice buildup in here, so I'm going to push no defrost. And now it's ready to use again. All right, first we're going to package up these chive blossoms. I'm going to put them into a glass jar because I don't want them to get smushed in a bag. And I've got my extra large funnel here from freezedryingsupplies.com. So chive blossoms actually have a milder flavor than the actual chives do. So they're a really nice oniony flavor addition that's not overwhelming, that you can put in dips, salads, vinegars, sauces. You can even use them as a garnish for soups and stews. They're a good source of vitamin A and vitamin C, and they also offer some prebiotic benefits for gut health. And that fit just about perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and put a lid on that. I'm going to keep this in my kitchen just like this. They'll stay fine in here, and I will get these used up. I'm probably going to do an infused oil and an infused vinegar with these, but I might expand that a little bit as well to try cooking with them. Next, we have the raspberry leaves. I'm going to put those in a little pint-size Mylar bag. So raspberry leaves are mostly used in tea. They are a really good source of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, magnesium, and potassium. And they also contain some anti-inflammatory properties as well. And since I'm bagging these up, I will put an oxygen absorber in these. These are going to go into longer term storage. I'll do that in just a minute. The oregano, I'm going to put in my oregano spice jar. I am pretty low on that, so happy to replenish it, and I'll be doing this more throughout the summer as I can harvest more. I use oregano a lot. It's a really good culinary herb. It's great in pasta, tomato-based dishes, on pizza. I love the flavor. It has a really good culinary flavor. It's also full of antioxidants, and it has some antibacterial and antifungal properties as well. And that filled my jar right back up. And last, we have lemon balm. I do have a lot of lemon balm saved. I love lemon balm tea. This is really good as a tea. It's good to add to lemonade for an added lemony flavor. You can use it in salads or in fruit dishes. And it has, the properties in here are used as a relaxant. They also help with stress and anxiety to reduce both of those. And it's also thought that this helps improve your overall sleep quality. I love it because of the flavor. It is a wonderful lemony tea. I make it into a hot tea and or a cold tea, add a little bit of honey, and it is just delicious. And it is very relaxing. It's a really good evening beverage before you go to bed, especially since it helps reduce anxiety, stress, and improve your sleep quality. So I'm going to get this into a bag as well. Yes, because my lemon balm jar on the counter is still full. And I have a lot of 1 gallon size bags of lemon balm, but I'm growing it, so I will keep preserving it. It also makes a wonderful gift. Oh, it just smells so lemony and fresh. It smells marvelous. All right, I'm gonna get some oxygen absorbers in those 2 bags. These are 50 cc or 100 cc oxygen absorbers for the pint-sized bags. I'm going to zipper it closed to start, compressing some of the air out as I go. And then I'm going to heat seal this with my impulse sealer. These have tear notches. These bags have tear notches at the top. So I want to heat seal it at the very top of this bag so that when I use the notches to open it, the zipper remains intact and I can reseal if I don't use all of these. So all you have to do is put it on the impulse sealer, making sure that your tear tabs are not on the plate of the sealer. As soon as that red light went off, I knew that it was sealed. So we'll do that again. And then I will just write on the bag. So these were the raspberry leaves. And this is May of 2024. And this is lemon balm. May of 2024. So we got 2 pints of tea leaves done. We've got a spice jar now filled with oregano and a half-gallon jar filled with beautiful chive blossoms. All of these were grown organically in my garden with no pesticides. I know how it was raised. I know what it is. It's real food and it has amazing health benefits. If you have a freeze dryer, I highly recommend that you do herbs. You saw how quick and easy it is to get that done, and these will stay fresh and viable for many, many years, decades. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of Freeze Dry Friday. Again, my name is Kelly. You're at A Better Choice Homestead, and I do hope that you come back and visit again soon.